So number 3, and this is strictly for marketplaces like an eBay, like an Airbnb, like a StockX, things where there's transactions between one group and another. And so I would ask, how are they incentivizing sellers to be better? I'd want to see some type of Airbnb Superhost badge, just any type of motivating factor that makes sellers want to provide a better product or want to provide a better service to get that reputation that they are a really good seller to attract more buyers to them, which in turn makes the product more valuable for buyers because now they know who to work with quickly. They know who to buy from. Again, we'll go into this quote from Sarah Tavel that she explains this incentivizing sellers to be better through Airbnb, like I was kind of just touching on. She says, quote, Airbnb actually introduced the Superhost Badge as a way to help their best hosts feel recognized. But in doing so, they codified what makes a great host, reinforcing what hosts need to do to create a great guest experience. So there are 3 positive, superpowering effects of doing this. First, it provides even more clarity to ambitious hosts of what behaviors are expected and rewarded on Airbnb, creating a better experience for guests, even for guests who stay with a newer host who hasn't yet earned a Superhost badge. Second, it creates an accruing benefit and mounting loss to hosts. Once they achieve the badge, they get more value on Airbnb from having it, and they don't want to lose it, both leading to more retention of the hosts. And third, guests now have an easy way of knowing who the great hosts are on Airbnb without having to read dozens of reviews, leading to a happier experience. So maybe listen to that twice. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. I'm going to touch on them a little bit now, but first, it lets the sellers know how to be great. If you're a host on Airbnb and you make that your full-time job, you'd want to know how to be the best. You want to strive to be the best host so you can accrue more value for yourself. So by having the Superhost badge and having a checklist of what you need to do to earn that badge, that creates a better experience for the seller. They know what they're striving for, so they're going to give a better experience to the buyer to earn that badge. And so the second point she says, it's not just a benefit for everyone. Benefits the seller that they have their badge, benefits the buyer that they know who to buy from. It keeps the sellers from leaving because if you're on Airbnb and you have this Superhost badge and you're getting all this value from it and you have this reputation, why would you go to Vrbo? You have this reputation on Airbnb. You're going to stay there and you're going to keep it and want to improve and get better. You wouldn't leave to start fresh somewhere else. You have this reputation. So that's the second point of incentivizing sellers. And then the third, as she says, it makes the buying experience way easier for buyers because they know who the great hosts are without having to read all these reviews and doing all these searches. They can just filter by superhosts in Paris. Boom, there's 5 people, pick their favorite apartment, done. Makes it a lot easier. So just by having some type of incentivizing force in the marketplace, like wanting the sellers to be better, it usually starts with the sellers. Because if the sellers are better, the buying experience is better for the buyers. So you want to be thinking about, how can I motivate these sellers to be best? How can I reward them for their hard work, which in turn would make the buying experience better, like I said. So I'd simply ask, how are they incentivizing sellers to be better? And there might not be something they know at this point if they're an early stage company. Like, I don't know when Airbnb started the Superhost badge, but it wasn't early on when they had 100 hosts. So they might not know, but at least it's a good thought exercise. And if you're a marketplace, you know so much now. You should have been studying Airbnb and eBay and all these great marketplaces. So you should have some type of thinking around that, or else you're just not prepared. So it's a reasonable question to ask, I'd say, and I'd hope there'd be some type of answer, at least around a long-term plan, to incentivize sellers if they aren't doing anything right now.